We get ready then, the Manufacturer Series race for the top 16 superstars of the 2020 FIA Gran Turismo Championships. Round 3 is about to get underway then. Solis will lead the field over the timing line for the first time of 18 then, as they all go into the slipstream and try and get an advantage on their fellow competitors. Turn 1's not an overtaking spot. It's a good, fast, high-speed kink though to launch something maybe into turn 2. Hard on the brakes we go. Solis is going to hold on to his lead. Further back though, you can see by the looks of things, a bit of moves being made there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different story in this, as Lynch fires on up the inside of Marzan there, again using that tyre advantage in a row there, all coming through the chicane of death. I'm not sure if Polyphony first of all named it that, but that's the name it's picked up over the years. As we now come down, they should do, yes, we come down there, and there goes the Beetle, the mighty Beetle up the inside once more. Imagine you're a Ferrari and you spend £250,000 on your Ferrari, and some guy in a Beetle with a wing comes by you, and Cortez just gets it a little bit sideways on exit, and that's going to allow the M6 to get alongside as well and draft the Beetle in front.
Because in their mirrors close behind is the likes of Leach, who is also on the medium tyres, but of course Leach's medium compound tyres, and Troncoso's in the wall at the chicane. That's what we were talking about. A simple mistake can cost you dear, and it has cost Troncoso dear. It's going to cost him a podium position potentially here, because now Solis goes through as well. So down into P10 on the road, but that is the battle for the podium. Down in towards the hairpin we go, on the straight, hard on the brakes we go. Parker fully committed on the inside. Soft tyres, of course, on that Volkswagen, allowing him to brake later, and he moves up into 3rd place in this race.
And Hayward at the moment takes the provisional lead of this race. Cortez there, overtaken by Parker, just come out the pit lane, as does Nick McMillan. Gets him 2. Will Brooks get him? No, Brooks won't get him. So Brooks is going to have to put up with a hard compound runner for a bit, and he might lose a bit of time here.
Listen to the understeer and look at how much more committed he is. And if he gets a good run coming over the brow of the hill as Cortez runs it a bit wide, he can surely think about a move. Cortez aggressively tries to slam the door shut. They run side by side down this straight in towards the hairpin. Brooks is later on the brakes, and he's through into 4th place. So that was as good as it could possibly be there for Brooks, getting ahead of that Ferrari. And you can see Brooks is just that little bit quicker with that fresher rubber on his car here.
Got the momentum down the hill as well. Go for the lunge up the inside on Nick McMillan, who will know better than I think to probably defend it at this point. Brooks goes up the inside. McMillan really squeezed him to the outside. Actually, he's not willing to give up at this point. He wants to try and keep that 3rd position for as long as possible. He knows if he can stay ahead as well, that he's going to be just disturbing that Citroen for the rest of the race. Nick McMillan definitely is a racer.
It's getting interesting with just under 4 laps now remaining. Here comes Marzan on Troncoso then to the inside at T1. They run side by side, wing mirror to wing mirror, and Marzan very easily through. Soft tyres, of course, giving him more grip. Now Brooks is ahead of Nick McMillan into P3, so that's not bad there for the Canadian driver. That's what he needed to do.
For their hard compounder tyre towards the end. They've still got tyres to use here. Parker there again, deep in the draft of Hayward coming down to T1. Again, I think belonging to the same sim racing team here. Liveries look very similar indeed. Looks to the inside, gets it done, very nice.
Where's he going to emerge out on the track though as well? Don't forget, of course, Nick McMillan is out of position. Here comes Danny Solis, ready to send it down the inside on the brakes into turn 2, into 3rd position on the road. But this, of course, is still part of the battle for the race lead. The man he is battling for that effective race lead is just in front of him on your shot at the moment in the closing stages of this one. So it is a battle for position at the moment, but how long is that going to last? Here comes Troncoso down the inside of Marzan on the brakes, locking up on the ragged edge of adhesion, and he tries to get the switch back there. Does Marzan? They draw alongside one another as they come through into the chicane, and the Mercedes-Benz does hold on. That is a perfect example of the switchback on corner exit. Marzan timing that beautifully there.
Marzan's going to go a long way around though. Can he outbrake him coming into the chicane? He cannot. Just hasn't quite got the tyre life left to do that. They both go deep there. Look, here's Castro. Sideways goes Troncoso. That's going to slow him down coming out of the right-hander, and now it's Marzan and Troncoso go side by side. Castro nowhere to go, but he's involved too.
This is getting very close indeed. Here comes Castro up the inside of Marzan into the right-hander. In the background as well, I think that was Parker who's gone off circuit. Indeed, he has. That's a disaster for him, and Marzan's got a penalty there. Yep, coming in towards this final corner then. Danny Solis hard on the brakes. Brooks is trying to hold on for just a few metres more. Out of the final corner we go. Andrew Brooks is going to make it the double. Surely here he does take the checkered flag in the Manufacturers Series. The top 16 Superstars races belong to Andrew Brooks. Troncoso is just going to hold off the charge of Richard Castro to the end of that race. Marzan comes home in P5, Hayward in P6, Parker P7. Well, that was hugely exciting there, Jimmy, to the end of that.